Anyway, let's get into this. I actually took a look at this already on my channel, but I'm not going to post it or anything. But it's kind of interesting. The video is censored. Anyway, this actually starts a couple of months ago, where there was a situation where a YouTube prankster was being obnoxious, and an event took place, which we will watch. And this is saying that the guy gets acquitted of retaliating against the guy. Let's just watch it. I think it's interesting. It's only 3 minutes, and I want to talk about prank videos because prank videos are almost always dog shit. I think that there can be decent ways to do pranking stuff, but when it gets to this point of like harassment, especially against employees, but especially when they're like, "Please stop," I just like it's like so lowbrow. I understand. Oh, I do commentary. I do react, but like you're literally harassing like minimum wage workers and shit, and just people on the street. I would get so pissed too. You know, you're not respecting boundaries, guys. It's a conversation about consent. Not necessarily, you know, that type of consent, but it's still, you know, I do not consent to you being an obnoxious asshole. And you're looking for the response to, like, piss people off. So let's get going.
Tonight, Fox 5 has obtained never-before-seen footage of a YouTube prank that ended with a shooting. A Loudoun County jury found Alan Coley not guilty of the most serious charge connected to the shooting at Dallas.
This is the guy that I was saying before. That's the kind of guy that you would have dated. You know, when
absolutely not.
No, yeah, this is the type, dude. You are totally a backward hats girl before you met me.
No.
Yeah, 1,000%. I feel like you totally would have been into this guy. Not like, but if you were like his age.
I don't know who you think that I am.
You were cringe before you met me.
I am more cringe now with you.
But it's like it's like a fun cringe. It's like Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know who you think I was.
It's like Halloween dress up cringe, not like backwards hat douchebag cringe.
I'm not.
Okay.
Not guilty
lying to yourself.
Of the most serious charge connected to the shooting at Dallas Town Center. David Kaplan's working this one tonight. You got your hands on the video.
What? Which is so
yeah,
funny.
Of course, go ahead.
I used to.
You have to give me a kiss though. She's always afraid I'm gonna not give her the kiss.
I used to. I guess it was bullying my ex. I used to make fun of him.
Bad girl.
Because he was, you know, he was like a white kid who was into rap and stuff like that. And I used to make fun of him and say that he wore like the airbrush like Bugs Bunny t-shirts with chains on it and like the Cookie Monster
you used to wear
hat.
that?
No, but I used to tell him.
Wait, hold on.
Because he did look like he would wear that stuff.
Do you remember when I bought the Cookie Monster chain, the bling? I bought like a $250 Cookie Monster necklace.
I can't believe that you did that.
You went and returned it for me because I was so.
I don't know why. Imagine him buying that today. The money we don't have for that.
That was so cool. I wonder if I still have a picture of it. Continue.
It was terrible, but that's it.
It was cool as fuck. It was a Cookie Monster. It was like a $300 Cookie Monster pendant,
blinged out pendant.
Oh, it was fucking litty titty.
But yeah, I used to say that to my ex, and it was bullying. Now that I reflect back on it, but he did look like one of those kids that would wear that stuff. But I used to make him so upset, and it was so funny.
You're so mean.
I know.
I'm still trying to find this picture, but I don't know if I have it anymore. Did I post it on Instagram?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's play the video and I'll see if I can find it when the
happen here.
Yeah, Jim, Tanner Cook's YouTube page has nearly 56,000 followers. Most videos show Cook going to public places and doing some sort of prank that people typically have negative reactions.
Yeah, he's trying to rage bait people because he's an asshole. I mean, that's what it boils down to. That's his whole content space.
We're going to walk you through this video without audio first, then we'll play the whole thing for you. On April 2nd at Dulles Town Center, Cook was being filmed as part of his YouTube page as he walked up to Kali, who was picking up a food delivery. On Cook's phone, he had an automated voice.
And he was basically at work. Oh, no, I was thinking he was an Uber Eats guy. But
a vulgar message that was repeated multiple times to Kali, who tells him to get away or he'll call the police, is what it appears to say in the video. Kali tries walking away. Cook appears to follow. Then the lone shot rings out.
It's like weirdly aggressive where you're doing like one of these. And I know people will say, why didn't the guy just walk away? But I feel like if you're feeling like a little uncomfortable around somebody, you're going to obviously face them because you don't want to put your back to somebody that you feel like might be potentially threatening you.
Deal.
What? Hey, quit thinking about my twinkle.
What's that mean?
Hey, quit thinking about my twinkle.
I think it's talking about his twinkle. Oh.
No.
Hey, quit thinking about my
Get out of my face and call the cops on you. Stop.
Hey, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop.
I thought I wouldn't laugh. I'm so sorry. It's not funny. But it's like
interesting.
It's interesting.
Okay.
And this is on YouTube. They censored it. Okay, so we're good to watch it. Listen, here's my thing, right?
Seeing it was different. When you described it to me, I thought like a completely different situation. So now my opinion on this is a little different.
Yeah, I'll give mine first and you can give me yours if that's okay. My opinion is I don't think that it was a justifiable reason to pull out a firearm. Honestly. I don't think that like legally this is justifiable. I think that this guy on the right's being super obnoxious, and he should be arrested for harassment in some capacity, which I think is something we need to normalize. He should be arrested for harassing him in general. That's something that we need to normalize, is arresting YouTube pranksters when they start harassing. That should be considered some form of harassment. For like life in prison. No, not that much, but you should get some kind of a thing, maybe a fine or something if you continue to do it. That being said, I feel like it was a disproportionate response, and I think that there's something to be said of that. Like if that's the bar for you to engage with before you're willing to pull out a firearm, you probably shouldn't have a firearm.
Yeah.
You're too fucking trigger happy. I mean, what happens if somebody sneezes the wrong way and all of a sudden you're shooting? So I think that is incredibly inappropriate, like from a legal perspective. I think from a moral perspective, it's not good what he did. However, the fact that the guy I also think I don't have any sympathy for the guy who got shot. I just don't. I have sympathy for the societal negative that comes from this guy being too trigger happy. I don't have any sympathy for the guy who got shot. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's how
I know he could have like threatened him first, Yeah,
he could pull the gun out and be like, I'll shoot you.
I thought that he was gonna be like more harassed than this. Like you said,
it was gonna be worse?
He didn't have to deal with a lot before he.
Yeah, he was like he was ready. He's like, I got a new pocket police officer. Boom, I'm calling the police. Just like one of those pocket gel pens for your shirt. Pocket washing machine. But it's like one of those things where it's like, to me, it's like the same as like you said a slur. You said a slur to a person that belongs to that particular slur group. You know what I mean? Like, if you say a bigoted slur to like a gay person, and they hit you, like I don't have any sympathy for you. Like, oh, you should get hit. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that.
I want to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to call. You hear that? They left that.
I thought they were gonna show more.
No, they don't want to. They're not gonna show more. He gets shot and he goes, which I probably would too. But that is embarrassing for him to have that on live TV. But he got to make content out of this and said, "I got arrested. I got shot."
Collie did have a concealed carry permit. Cook has recovered. Collie
he looks a little suspicious to me. Same.
Found guilty of discharging a firearm in a public place. Again, not guilty on some of the wounding-related charges. His attorneys, Collie's getting a hearing next month, arguing that the verdict should be thrown out on the discharge in public since
it shouldn't be.
It was self-defense. Today, the Loudoun County Commonwealth's attorney says the force used by Collie, they believe, did not match the threat he faced.
I agree. Also, I wish I could use the force. I would use it for very menial things like getting the remote control off the floor.
Oh, for real?
That's it. I'd be like the laziest piece of shit. Oh, I would use the force to move this, blah, blah, blah. I would use the force to grab the remote.
I would use the force to move all the furniture we have to move. Imagine if we could just...
Yeah, that's what I would do.
The mattress upstairs.
But my thing is if we had the ability to use the force, we would think that that's not enough. And we would be like, oh, I wish I could just teleport the thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a proportion. Now, back in the day, people with the computers were probably like, this is incredible. I don't need anything else. And now we're like, excuse me, how come my computer can't do my fucking homework? And now we have ChatGPT, So, but either way, it would be cool as hell to just, like, force things around. Like, but then also, if I got I used to get, like, anger problems. Imagine I got a little angry and I started, like, punching holes in the walls like this. Like, I started Kyling the walls. Bah, 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 bah. I mean, if you name your kid Kyle and they put holes in the walls, it's like you named your kid Kyle.
I like the name Kyle.
I don't know. Oh, I'm thinking of Keith. No, Kyle. No, this Kyle. We don't like the name Kyle. That is an abuser's name. We would never. Terrible name. If your name's Kyle, I'm sorry for you, not to you. Just because I'm sorry that you've been burdened like that. But, Yeah.
Cook's father, Jeremy, agreed with that, but disagreed with some parts of how the Commonwealth's attorney prosecuted its case.
Where's the line
Who's this asshole?
It became a life-threatening situation?
That's fair.
Where he had to use deadly force.
This guy's right.
If you see that line that was crossed, then you can think like that. But if you watch the video, at no point do you go, oh, there's where it became a physical point where this guy had to defend himself.
Yeah.
That never happened.
I agree with that, but I think it's his son. I think his son is an asshole.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't agree with him because he's just saying like blanket defend himself, not defend himself with a gun. Because I think at the point that they were at, yeah, the guy who was being harassed did have to like defend himself because he was getting followed. The kid was all up in his face. Like if that was me and you would have pushed him away.
Yeah, I'm also a lot bigger than that guy, so it would have been more capable. Here, if he pulled the gun out and it was like, motherfucker, that would have been fair.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't disagree.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because what that guy was saying, I think they said it was a father or whatever. Like, no, like your kid deserved to get something. He might not have deserved to like get shot in that situation, but he needed to back the fuck off, and he was in the wrong.
So here's my defense, and I've already given you I don't think that he should have shot him, but here's the defense towards why he should have shot him or why it was justified. And we'll go back. What are we at? Like 221. If you look at this situation, we're talking about, this is how I look at it. You got a dude that this guy is like a good few inches on him, or maybe it's just the hat. I don't know. He's bigger than him. He's following around. His gestures are aggressive. Whether we like, they're not.
He's got a buddy with him.
He's got a friend with him, and he's really close. And so you could argue, first of all, him punching could get him hurt. And I don't believe that somebody has to respond with proportionate violence necessarily. I don't think that I'm not expressing myself. I don't think that somebody should not have to put their own bodily autonomy on the line to defend them, to be considerate of the person that's harassing them. So like if a guy was like ready to fight me with fists and I did not want to fight and he was the aggressor, I don't think that I should have to physically fist fight him and put my autonomy on the line. If I have a gun, I should be able to pull the gun out and say like, this is how it's going to go.
Oh, I hear you.
Because like, I'm not the aggressor. I'm not forfeiting my autonomy. You want to fight me one-on-one. Even if I could win, why should I potentially engage in an altercation that could get me hit in a way where like I lose, like I get hit and I have like a traumatic brain injury? Why should I have to put myself on the line? So I don't have a problem with the gun necessarily. So, and then on top of that, he's so close that pulling the gun out saying, hey, stop it, might get the gun slapped out of his hand. So I think that like honestly, a lawyer could probably put together a reasonable defense in saying, based on all these factors, this guy's shooting was actually justifiable.
You know what, husband? I think that if you ever were like, you know what, I do want to choose something else and do something, maybe you go to law school.
No, it's too difficult.
I think that you would be a good lawyer. Yeah, and especially now that you've become more like culturally sensitive and like just in tune with like social justice issues.
Yeah.
I think you would actually be a good.
Yeah, but how? It's like 10 years to go to law school. I'll be 40 something by the time I'm done. What do you look to get?
40.
Yeah.
You gotta be hot.
I'm not smart enough anymore. I'm gonna be hot at 40.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But I do think that the guy has a strong enough defense based on all those parameters. So I think it's fair.
He told me this was a difficult case. One juror told me that he did believe that Cook was a threat, Kali. Thank
you so much for $5 from False Shepherd. I love your streams, guys. First time tuning in, by the way. I love it when Robin says Kim Kardashian in the funny voice. That is funny. You did a good voice. I'm curious where you found us from. Just curious. And also, and this isn't a criticism, Robin is spelled with a Y, which you would have no way of knowing that. But I just wanted to say that you would have no way of knowing that.
This isn't targeted at you.
This isn't like negative to you.
Just a general announcement that my name is spelled Robyn.
Yes.
Just because I appreciate that. I really appreciate like all the comments and everything, and I especially like when people talk specifically. This sounds so full of myself, but I do like when people talk about like me specifically, like because a lot of people love Papa Gut. And I appreciate seeing all of that. But it'd be cool
you don't
if we stuck a Y in there.
You don't have to apologize. There's no way you would ever know that. It's the people in your real life that see the name of your spelling and still spell it wrong. That makes me angry.
Like on my work email, where my work email is my name and I have a email signature in it, they still spell it wrong. I have a cousin, Pam. If you watch this, Pam has been with my stop.
Fuck you, Pam.
Shh. Too loud.
Fuck you, Pam.
She's been spelling my name with the I forever.
Kids too. Your kids are assholes. I'm gonna push them. I'm going to push the kids on the grass gently. They're not going to get hurt, but they're going to feel emotionally damaged. I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm giving, like, Pam is messing with my wife. She's spelling her name wrong intentionally, so I'm messing with Pam. I'm messing with her business. I'm giving it back to her a little bit.
You're being weird.
I'm overtired. Give me a fucking break. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and I just took a shot, and apparently I missed. I like those kids. They're nice kids. They're all right. They're okay. One of them called me Boyfriend Dan, so that's cool. But now
the older one,
sure,
is going to be 9.
No, she was like 5 years old when we first hung out.
Yes,
hung out. I don't know.
Math.
Damn, we're getting to the point where we can't even take them out to Chuck E. Cheese. I want to eat the fucking pizza from that goddamn place. Holy shit. I'm watching this. Be afraid. No. Bro, those kids are, can I just say the interjection? Those kids are fucking weird. They watch horror shows at like 5 years old. And they love it. I don't get it. I'm like, I would be terrified. I used to be so scared. I played Phasmophobia as a game. And like that almost cured my scaredness.
Do you remember when we played together?
So distressing to me.
We should play.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Let's go.
2 colleagues.
You can play on the VR headset while I play on the computer.
No, I can't do that.
Fucking I'd fucking shit.
Specifically pointing to Cook's size relative to Collie and the fact that Cook wasn't speaking and kept following him, and that Cook had an expressionless face. The jury originally told the judge they were deadlocked. Then they came back with the verdict a short time later when they handed down that verdict yesterday. What was the jury thinking in the room? What changed their mind? I have the one juror's perspective. We'll have that at 6:30 as we continue our coverage.
Guess what? I don't give a fuck about that asshole because that juror is just a dude, and I'm happy it's not me because I hate doing jury duty. So yeah, that was that segment.
Do you want to hear something? I totally was not listening to anything.
And there was nothing relevant. He was like, "Oh, the jury was in a deadlock, and now they're not." That's it.
Want to hear something wild?
You engage with that more. Okay, go ahead.
So it's not really that wild. It's just something interesting. Fun fact for everybody. So we live on Long Island.
Fun fact among us balls.
My brother got called for jury duty at court in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
I didn't know that you would have to travel. And I'm just being mind blown. If you live in another state, how many courts do you have? Is court really far for you to travel for jury duty?
I don't
know. How in other states, there's only what is it? Is it a VFW? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
The veterans thing. There's only a couple in the state, so in order to get care there, you have to travel really far sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow, jury duty must be terrible for some people.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing: is that there's an easy way to get out of jury duty that people. It's an exploit that people don't understand. You go to the jury duty place and you get they'll give you a rundown on the information. And you just say something racist.
No,
that's all you have to do.
When I had jury duty, the thing that they interviewed me for was somebody fell in a hospital or something. Yeah. And they were the family of the person who fell was suing the hospital.
Sure.
And so they asked me they ask you to get to know you a little bit. And they ask if there's anything from your experience that you think would make you not a good match for this
case.
You
know what I would say?
What?
I think it's funny when people fall and hurt themselves.
Well, I gave an honest answer and I was like, oh, they're going to pick me. And I said something families are unrealistic sometimes in their demands for care and are annoying. But I know, and I said this more professionally, but I also know that in care settings, sometimes the right thing is not done.
Sure. Yes. That's true.
And so I said those things. And they said they dismissed me.
Who dismissed you? Which side? The plaintiffs for the defendants?
I don't know. The way that they talked to us, and then the two like left the room to discuss us and then
you don't know
dismissed
because
us.
I think that your answer was too educated for them to want you in there. I think that's what it comes to. I think that you're too smart.
Because I thought that I was a pretty good, like, unbiased, because my answer was like both sides suck.
Yeah, you're too difficult to emotionally manipulate, though.
Damn straight.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is I think that they probably both didn't want you on there because you weren't malleable enough to like just embarrass you. Whatever lawyer felt weaker was the one who probably pulled you off that case.
Interesting.
I really enjoy the game Fall Guys. I like the game Fall Grandmas. That's my favorite game. That's what.
Terrible.